If you don't like country, don't get mad. We're not going to get any further country than this one.
Alright, hey howdy hey guys. Welcome back to day 2 of CIY. I know this is a little later, but we just got done with worship, small group, and now what are we doing, Tan?
Whatever we want.
It's free time right now until lunch, which is, 20
minutes. Actually, no, 19 minutes.
Yes. Seconds. We also have a really big surprise tonight. We were talking at small group. We were talking about what are the ways to describe God. He is real. We know this. And we did Selah, which I've done in my previous videos. You can go check those out. And they describe how do we identify God and where do we need Him in our lives? Where do you need God in your life the most? Like with the stuff that we were talking about.
Dealing with friends is drama.
Relationships, like that?
Yeah.
Mine is accomplishments. It's either accomplishments or images.
Chick-fil-A all day.
Alright guys, sorry we're out in the middle of nowhere. Just kidding, we're at Walmart.
Too bad we don't have a fridge, we just buy it all now. Take it back.
We had to get some new stuff. I had to get some new batteries and a new fan. The girls here, they got some stuff as well because they don't have AC any more than we do, which is unfortunate for both sides of the party. Zach and Bryce went overboard today. Like, this was almost $100, wasn't it, Bryce? Yeah. What did you get, Zach?
Water. Gotta have water.
Well, that's understandable.
Gotta have fans, we got no AC. Gotta have boogie boards. We're going to the beach tomorrow. I feel like that was it. $100.
Coffee's for old people, and you're not old, Zach. Whatever. But yeah, this time, since we're going back to Lake Michigan, we're definitely gonna try to actually get some footage out there in Lake Michigan this time. Alright guys, so we just made it back to our dorms. We're unpacking our stuff. We got my bad. I about stepped on
35 pounds more.
I about stepped on Tanner's top of the line sunglasses.
35. At most I was like 60 pounds more than I weigh now.
There's literally no AC in this thing. Whew.
Oh my gosh. Just 60 pounds more than I am now.
You lost a lot of weight.
Oh, like over the years, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
This is Bryson Lane's room. Mine's next door.
Yeah.
And whatever. It's not much different than theirs. But whatever. Right, T?
Yeah.
10 years.
Anyway, I'm going to Worship 101. And keep on watching because I'm going to see about getting an interview with Aaron Pelsu in the band.
I don't know if that.
You gotta do the slow-mo.
Oh, he's going to...
Oh!
He missed.
I just want you to post one of these.
You're not posting it.
Come on.
Yeah. Oh.
Abby, where you shot that?
Oh my God.
You got a man down.
Wildcat 14. I hit face.
Medic! Medic!
Dude, there's no way you can beat Nick Jonas.
I'm gonna get kicked if I go.
Yeah, back up, back up.
Yeah, I'm sitting down.
Yeah!
Hey!
I don't think that's the first time.
Just have him hold it lower. Hold it lower. Put it straight.
What is he even doing?
I'm doing a roundhouse kick. It's like a karate move? Question mark?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think...
You were that much closer. You were real close.
That's hard, man.
Can you do it full force though, like full speed?
You also...
Hand off.
Alrighty guys. I know that really wasn't much at Worship 101, but I actually got to like sit and talk with the band, and I really couldn't record it and talk to them at the same time. It's not easy to do, but they gave me one of their CDs. Got to meet some of them, and I got to meet some of the new people, like Abby, for example, the blonde acoustic guitarist. She's cute. All of them got to know my nickname, even some of the people from another church who were there. And I got a picture with them, like right here. They also asked me if I was going to be in the talent show this year, as the last time they saw me, I sang We Weren't Born to Follow, with no vocal training. They were absolutely surprised by that. They remembered it like it was yesterday. It's very hard to describe a band like this with such good people. They're not super famous, yet when you see them, they change your life. They treat their fans very, very well. Almost like nieces or nephews or brothers or sisters. Well, we are brothers and sisters in Christ. That is the truth right there. Go check them out on Instagram. Check them out on social media. Aaron Postu and the Aaron Postu Band right here. And then here are the rest of the band members, as far as I know. Alright guys, me and Tanner are kind of hot and we're tired of all the heat waves.
And we're out of breath because we just ran a half a mile.
Not half a mile, it feels like it. We're at the pool now. Man, this is some college that jumpers go to.
Ready, get it.
Go for it, Tanner. This is some college that students go to. Man.
A few hours later.
Alright guys, so I'm heading out to dinner right now. I am tired of that slight jump into the pool with Tanner. This is what happens if you don't keep track of your schedule at CIY. Crap hits the fan. I'll see you guys at worship.
guarantee you know someone who could. This song is all about laying ourselves out at the feet of a loving God, hearing his words of love whispered and sung back over us. So try this chorus with me. Let's lay ourselves at his feet. It goes like this. Bring my rambling when I've tried it all. And you say trust, I will lead you. I bring the storms of my depression, and you say calm, and I am with you. I bring my darkness when I can't go on, and you bring love, the love that carries me. I bring the ashes of my addiction, and you say one, I have overcome.
All the fame, all the physical prowess, women throwing themselves out and they have the money, but they're lost. Don't run down that track. It will only destroy you. Now think about Gabby. Gabby's 17 years old. She just moved to Phoenix from New York. Actually, she kind of got kicked out of the house. She loves her mother, but she and her mother have a toxic relationship. She can't even live with her own mother. And I wish you could know her. She's either going to be the president of the United States or go to prison, and I'm not sure which. Any given day, man. And you got Gabby's in your group too. Some of you are so talented. You're so gifted. You have people skills out the wazoo, but you're inconsistent because you're on this track and then you're on that track, and you just don't know which way you're going to go. I'm begging you, choose a side. Either be on God's side, be all in, or be all out. But it's time to quit playing games with God. It's time for you to choose who the Lord is going to be of your life, because if you don't, you're going to keep wavering between two opinions, and you not only will not feel close to God, but you're going to destroy every relationship that's important to you. Verse 30, Elijah said to all the people, "Come here to me." They came to him, and he repaired the altar of the Lord, which had been torn down. Now, I'm going to talk to you guys for just a second who have been invited by a friend. Maybe you've never been to church before, and this is kind of new to you, and I get that. Sometimes it can be a little intimidating. Like the songs we sing are a little bit different, and people raising their hands, you're just going, this seems odd to me, but that's okay. If other people want to do it, that's fine. I just want to talk to you for a minute. Because if you've never been to the altar of the Lord, if this is a new experience for you, I just want to point out what our God does. I'm not bashing anybody else. I just want to point out what our God, I want to just brag about our God for just a minute. In verse 31, Elijah took 12 stones, one for each of the tribes descended from Jacob, to whom the word of the Lord had come, saying, "Your name shall be Israel." In the first part of the Bible, the thick part, the Old Testament, it's kind of the Jewish people. God chose one man, Abraham, and from Abraham he built the nation. And that nation had 12 tribes. And so you'll hear a lot about the 12 tribes of Israel. And Elijah, way past the time when the tribes had already, they're falling apart. He's rebuilding this altar out of 12 stones. And yeah, it's just symbolic, but what I want you to hear is that God will rebuild from your life, from the ancient traditions. God's had a plan. He's had an invitation for you to be part of that plan. So before Elijah ever confronts the prophets, before he ever calls on God, he takes these stones and stacks them up one at a time. 12 stones to remind them that you have a heritage. You have a God that's been in history with you. And I just want to tell you, if you have not been part of the church, you could be proud to be a part of this people who call themselves Christians. Did you know that Christians in the early Roman Empire, where they started, that Christians were the only group of people that welcomed rich and poor, slave and free, Jew and Greek. We were the only group of people that invited all ethnicities in. The only group of people that invited different genders in. Historically, the Church of Jesus Christ has been and is today worldwide the most inclusive, welcoming. Now, you wouldn't always think that by watching the news, but I don't know that the news is always telling the whole story. As I look in the rearview mirror, I look at a church, black and white, rich and poor, east and west, male and female, young and old. You have a place here, and God is inviting you into his story. If you will, get on one track. You can't waver. You can't have one foot in and one foot out. You've got to be all in, or you can't be in at all. The Church of Jesus Christ, did you know this? That Jesus Christ did more for the liberation of women than anyone in history has ever done. That Jesus Christ has done more for education, particularly the education of the poor. That the Church of Jesus Christ, were it not for the Church of Jesus Christ, starting from the Roman Empire, going through the Middle Ages, and certainly in the modern ages, has done more for medical and scientific research than any other institution, period. Did you know that the laws that we have on the book, even the very Constitution of our nation, are based upon the principles of God-fearing people who looked in the Bible and said, there's some stones there worth building upon. When you are invited to follow after God, you're invited into a very ancient, a very noble, a very life-giving, liberating group of people who want what is best for you from a God who loves you more deeply than you could ever imagine. And into this ancient world, into this noble heritage, God's calling you. But you got to get in, or you got to get out. And so it came his time, and he said, all right, what I want you to do, dig a trench around my altar. I got an altar, I put the bull on the altar, and he dug a trench. The trench could hold about 3.5 gallons of water. Of course, it's been a drought for a long time, so it's going to soak up a lot more water than they put it. So he said, fill it up. They filled it up, and it just soaked into the ground. Fill it up again, and it soaked into the ground. Fill it up again, and it soaked into the ground. And then Elijah's prayer, he didn't have to dance around. He didn't have to cut himself with swords. He didn't have to shout over and over again. Here's what he says, verse 36, at the time of sacrifice, the prophet of Elijah steps forward and prays, Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known today that you are God in Israel, that I am your servant, and have done all these things at your command. Let it be known. Now I'm just wondering who's going to step out of the shadows and say, I'm going to let it be known tonight. I'm going to let it be known that I belong to God and I am going to run on his track and his track alone. Let it be known. And when you do that, your God will answer you. Big barrel-chested guy, bald-headed, handsome, gorgeous. And he came up to me and he goes, Pastor, you need to talk me into God. I said, no, I don't. God's a big boy. He'll talk himself into if he wants to. And he goes, no, you need to talk me into God. I said, no, why do I need to talk you into God? He said, because I like coming to your church. So you do know you can come to my church as an atheist. And he goes, I know, that's not the point. I've invited 5 of my neighbors to church. They've all come and gotten baptized, and I just feel like a hypocrite. When you're going to church where the atheists feel like hypocrites, that's a good church. Stay there. So he and I started going to coffee, and I'm just, telling him about the Lord and trying to convince him. And one day on the way to coffee, I started to tell him about a miraculous healing that I was a part of and had experienced. Thinking maybe he'll go, oh, okay, well, if God heals people, then there really is a God. And he goes, you can stop. I met God. I said, what? Yeah, I met God. Where? Well, it was in my pickup truck. And I said, this is a quote, I didn't know he would fit. But he started to describe to me his encounter with God. And he had never read the book of Revelation, but he was quoting Revelation 5. He just didn't even know it. And I go, dude, you met God. What are you going to do about it? And he looked at me like I was stupid and said, well, don't you like baptize me now? I said, yeah, bro, yeah, we can go baptize. We're right across the street from the church. I said, we can go baptize you if you want to call your wife. His wife, and you know, had been praying for him for 20 years. And he said, no, this is between me and God, not me and her.
He done had an angry wife
said,
after that.
Okay, I'll take you over and baptize you. You'll go to heaven, but you may go there sooner than you think you do. So he never said anything. So we go to the church. He did text his wife. I didn't know this. We go to the church. We get some shorts, get some t-shirts. We have an outdoor baptistry. So we are in the water. His wife comes, like she's 50 yards away, coming running across the lawn and just pissed and happy and crying. So I dumped it before she got there. I didn't do that. I don't know how God's going to show up for you, but I know He will. And my guess is that even right now, tonight, that some of you know that God He's on the make, He's on the prowl. He's shown up on the mountain. And maybe it was somebody else's mountain, maybe it was somebody else's fire, but you've seen Him from afar, and you know that God is calling you. And you've seen what He's done in other people's lives, and you're just waiting. Is it my turn? When's it my turn to have God come and talk to me? When's it my turn to experience the fire of God? To know that I'm God's man, and He can move mountains through it. My guess is that you will feel the fire when you get on one track and not two. Jason introduced this last night. It's an old railroad tie. You know what they would do? They would pull the lever and change the track. And some of you got one wheel on one track and one wheel on another, and you just need to choose a track, man. Choose this day who you will serve. Will it be the Lord? Or will it be your physical passions? Is it going to be your God? Or is it going to be a God of money? Is it going to be your friends? Or is it going to be the Lord Jesus Christ? And I want to be real clear here, because I want everybody to be able to see what you're doing tonight. If you have never accepted Jesus Christ as Lord, and you're thinking, I'm in. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how difficult it will be. But we'll talk about Elijah. He's got an uphill battle here. But if you are ready tonight to put your faith in Jesus Christ, there's a button on the right-hand side that's going to light up a green light. And you just pull this, and you let everybody know, I'm in. I choose today the Lord Jesus Christ. I choose Him. Some of you, you've been on that track. But for some reason, you just got another wheel on the other side, and you just need to choose a side. If that's you. Maybe you're like Meredith, or like Jake, or like Mike. You need to choose a side. The left button is going to light up blue. And you're going to tell everybody, I've been running down two tracks. But as of tonight, one track, one way, I choose the Lord, the God of Israel, and I'm asking Him to rebuild an altar and show up in fire. If that's you, it's your turn now.
guys, so that's gonna be the end of day 2 of CIY. It's already day 2, and today was that emotional, that big of a day. Holy crap is all I can say. Usually it's the 3rd day by the time we get this emotional, this big.
I have some good news.
Okay, so tomorrow, day 3 is the alternative. Hopefully we'll be signed up and ready to perform at that. Hopefully. We're setting our alarm extra early to get there. And hopefully our voices will be, you know, intact when we do it. Right, Tanner?
Yep.
You know what song you're gonna do?
Nope.
I want to think of it quick, because I already have mine written down. And you guys will find out if I sing.